Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dreams Unlimited Travel Podcast. My name is John Magi, and I will be your host. And in this episode, we're going to take a look at some of the facts and myths about free dining at Walt Disney World. I'm joined at the table by our panel of experts, Agent Consultant for Dreams Unlimited Travel, Tracy Heinrichs.
Hi, everyone.
Client Services Manager for Dreams Unlimited Travel, Kevin Close.
Hi, everyone.
And back in our production facility, we have our producer, Craig Williams.
Hello.
Again, thank you guys for being here. Thank you, everyone at home, for listening and watching this week's episode. This is going to be a little bit of a shorter episode than usual. We are going to talk about free dining. And free dining is one of those topics that we get asked about all the time.
All the time. Year round.
Travel agents.
Year round.
Right. And even as not as travel agents, even as part of the Disney Unplugged podcast and in general, you know, everyone has all these questions about free dining. And also free dining kind of has these things associated with it that are not necessarily true. We want to clear up those myths and we want to give you the facts about it. But it's not really a big enough topic to be a full show, so it's going to be a little bit shorter than usual. So I think one of the things we need to do first and foremost is we actually have to define free dining. So Tracy, you want to tell us what free dining actually is?
Sure. So free dining is a promotion that Disney uses to fill space. So it started out, I think free dining has really evolved a lot over time. So free dining in itself is a promotion. It is usually to a very specific time. It's not offered year round. Typically it hasn't been offered year round. When it first started, I mean, many years ago, like I remember using it for the first time, I think 10 or 11 years ago. Yeah, this has been around for a long time.
Free dining was actually part of the reaction to 9/11.
Right.
Well, that so many people were not traveling or not coming to Disney. This was the incentive to get you to come, was that we were going to offer a free dining promotion.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, it's been going on for a really long time. And when it first started, it was to fill that time kind of from the end of August through the month of September. And it always kind of went those dates, end of August, end of September, because people weren't traveling. They weren't traveling because in many areas, the kids were just getting back to school. So you weren't pulling them out. Traditionally hurricane season in this area. So that was, a reason as well. And, there were times where you could come to the parks in September and,
right,
you could throw a football down Main Street and not hit a person. It was, it was really dead. So it was used to fill up that space. And from what I recall, it seemed to be always, all resorts, all rooms. Like if it was available, you were getting free dining in it.
It was much more broad when it first started. It was now, Tracy, well, I'm sure we'll go into it, but now there's different versions of free dining.
Right.
But it used to be an all-encompassing, it was free dining, and you just got it free.
It was much more of a free-for-all, and everything on the menu was included.
Right.
Yeah, and then the resorts you were booking, there was a lot of, it really was used to fill, there was a lot of inventory, so it was used as a promotion. So that's kind of how it started.
Right. And I think it's important. Let's go back and let's just talk about when is it usually offered again?
Okay. So typically now, the way it's evolved, first of all, we never know when it's going to come or if it's going to come. So there's that up front. Usually springtime, it'll be announced for fall dates. So just to back up a little bit, after the initial free dining for everybody, it then kind of became Disney. I think Disney paid attention, as Disney does. And they said, wait a minute, people are starting to look for this. Let's use this a little more to our advantage. This particular resort, we're good at our occupancy over here. Let's not include it. Or, at this resort, we're only going to include certain types of rooms that we haven't been filling. And then it got even more specific than that. So now it was specific as far as, length of stay. And it can be as specific as, check-in day. Like I could check in on a Monday and free dining be available for 5 nights. But if I checked in on the Tuesday, it's not available. Like it's that specific. Like they're using, and I think there's also, it's a sign of the times, right? Like I believe that they can track things so much more closely than they used to.
Disney's got much more sophisticated in how they can see crowds and occupancy levels, and they're yielding these offers to specifically target those empty rooms is what they're doing.
Right. And this is what the promotion is. So Disney is not offering free dining or any promotion for you. They're not doing it because they love you and they want you to come. They're not doing it for any other reason but to fill unsold space. That's the goal in any promotion. And so if I can say, the question that we probably get asked the most is, how do I make sure I get free dining?
Right.
You don't. There is no way physically possible at this point today that I could say, if you do A, you will get free dining, or there's just nothing.
We get that quite a bit. If I book with Dreams Unlimited Travel, am I guaranteed to get free dining?
Right.
The answer is no. We can't predict the promotion.
Can I get free dining during marathon week? No.
Right. We can't predict when the promotion will be released. We can't predict what the dates will be of the promotion, and we can't predict specifics of the promotion. So we would encourage you to book whatever you want. But if you come to us and say, well, I booked because I thought I was going to get free dining, why isn't my resort included in it? We just don't know. You just don't know what Disney's going to do.
That's exactly right. And so what happens is, you had mentioned about the dates. So I will say typically what we have seen recently is that, somewhere around the middle to end of April, they announce it. I do think if it was going to be announced, there's things kind of pointing to the fact it may be a little bit earlier than that. Nothing but speculation on my part. And then it's for these dates sprinkled throughout the fall. Like, it can be as specific as, the month of September, or it could be in October. There were four dates that worked. And
right. This last year was very, very complicated.
It was very complicated. So there's no way to know for sure. What I can say is your check-in date, determines your eligibility. So if free dining started, say it was for example, available in September or up to September 27th. As long as you checked in by September 27th, you could get free dining for your stay. So the check-in date is the date that matters.
Right. And I will clarify and say that while we can't guarantee you free dining because we just don't know, your agents will work really hard to help you get it. You'll be notified when we're notified. You'll be given the details when we know it, so that they can help you perhaps adjust your stay.
Right.
Change your dates, change your resort, change your room type to get the best deal possible.
And so what kind of precipitated this and me, when John and I were talking about doing this show, it was really because of our agents. We've been talking, and to find out, we're all hearing the same thing from clients. I have heard of people wanting to book multiple dates to increase their chances, wanting to book multiple resorts to increase their chances, wanting to change resorts because they heard that resort's going to have it. I can tell you there is nothing you can do right now that will make a difference, because if your resort is not excluded from free dining, you're still not guaranteed to get it.
Exactly.
So it's all inventory controlled. Disney is controlling the number of rooms they're selling with the promotion at each resort. There literally is nothing you can do right now to ensure you get free dining until it's released and we see actual availability.
Right. And I also want to point out, too, the effect of doing that.
Right.
Of holding multiple resorts, of holding multiple dates, is you are decreasing the likelihood of free dining being announced or being released for that stay, because Disney's going to look at that and go, well, why should I bother? Because all of these rooms are full. Right. I don't need to put a promotion for that resort, those rooms, those dates. So, again, book what you want, book when you want to travel, and then let us fix it when we know, or adjust it when we know on the back end when it's going to be.
And what is happening is, I think there is a frenzy around this promotion like nothing I've ever seen in my 20 years in this business. Yeah. It is a craze. It is, I think, otherwise sane, intelligent people are literally losing their mind about this promotion. Right. And so what's happening is, the thing that you fear, you're creating. So you're worried about not being able to get availability, not being able to, not the promotion not coming. But because we're having a lot of issues as agents finding availability for the fall. And we don't think it's because it's that busy. Right. We think it's because people are holding so many reservations.
In anticipation.
I can tell you, if they say free dining is at Pop Century and it's valid in September, if you have a date in September at Pop Century, there is still a very good chance that you're not getting free dining.
Right. And then what Disney's also done through the years is they've adjusted what you get with free dining. We talked about this. It was sort of an open to everybody, open to all your meals. Now they've gone to free quick service or this particular thing.
This was because of the frenzy. There would be huge discussions about what can I order to maximize my benefit? And it was common knowledge. You order the steak and you order the lobster and you order the most expensive dessert and you order everything you ordered was the most expensive. And that was the way you were going to beat the system. Well, you beat the system for just so long, and then Disney took out the most expensive things.
Yeah, I mean, that's a conversation for a whole nother day, but it's how has free dining affected dining in general at Walt Disney World, in that they've kind of taken out those big items.
So let's say, I'll quickly say, the way it has been typically is that if you book a value resort, you get free quick service dining. If you book a moderate and higher resort, the dining plan that you get included is the regular dining plan, plus dining plan. It's got multiple different names, but it's the one that includes one sit down, one counter service, and your snacks. Now, if you do get the free quick service, you can pay the difference to upgrade to the other plans. Same thing if you got, you could go all the way to deluxe if you wanted to with either of the free plans. So that's typically what it looks like. They've also made ticket requirements on it now. You always had to have a ticket, but a 1 day was good enough, and then we saw it go to 2 days, and then it needed to be a 2 day with hopping or water park added to it. So there's always some kind of catch that way as well. So there's a lot of variables to it, and what really blows some people's minds is that sometimes free dining is not your best deal.
Right.
So if Disney releases free dining, but they also release a room discount, if you're 2 people staying in a deluxe resort, sometimes that room discount is a better deal for you than free dining.
Especially when you take into other variables like, do one of you have an annual pass?
Right.
Can you use an annual pass discounted meals? Are you doing Tables in Wonderland? All of these things come into play. But absolutely, since these minimum ticket requirements came along, a lot of times it's not the best deal for people.
And what's crazy, again, talking about this craze, is that I've literally had people who are like, why didn't you have me free dining? I want free dining. It's like, okay, free dining is going to cost you $3,500. If I book this discount, it's going to cost you $3,100. But I want free dining. Because people get in this mindset. And what really said it, as agents, as we were talking about this and realizing that we were all experiencing the same thing, was also there are sites out there, websites and blogs, and people are almost promoting the fact of, book your resort stay now so that we can get you free dining later. Right. And it's not, there might be some fine print somewhere with the caveat if it's available, but it's really making it sound like you only have to be booked at a resort that's included to get free dining. And this is kind of where the myth comes in. And of course, the fear when we're doing this show is people are like, oh, that's very negative, and they're not, this is realistic. This is real life.
We're pointing at the reality.
Yeah, I'm telling you, and I've told all of my, and the ones that have been asking to move around, I'm explaining to them, I'll move you wherever you want. I will do whatever you want me to do. That's my job as your agent. But it's also my job to tell you, this is not guaranteeing you anything. Until we actually see the promotion, we don't know what's going to happen. We just don't. We don't know if we're going to see it. If we do, what it's going to include, what it's not, what resorts, what availability is going to look like. Everything can look good on paper that you should get free dining, but then it could still not be available for you, for your resort stay, for your length of stay, for your arrival date. There's a lot.
Even down to your room type, correct?
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, rarely. We're not often seeing it on standard rooms anymore, And then the other thing that throw in a monkey wrench, Caribbean Beach and Coronado are both going to be under construction. Yep. What's this going to do to the whole free dining? Because now the moderate resort choice is kind of cut in half for some people, because some people wouldn't consider a resort that's under construction.
Well, not only that, there's now less rooms in inventory that Disney has to sell because they can't sell those under construction rooms. Right. So why bother offering a promotion if you have to sell half the rooms? Yeah. Again, I say it over and over again, folks. Book what you want. Yeah. Book it now, because this is where you want to go, how you want to go, where you want to stay, all of that now. And then if something like free dining comes along or a room-only promotion comes along, this is a plus. This is a bonus. And again, we will do our very, very best to adjust your reservation after we know the specifics. We'll do our very best to get it for you. I've even seen agents, they're really great at okay, this promotion came along and you can save this amount of money on your current reservation, but think about now maybe upgrading because you'll pay the same for better accommodations, a monorail resort versus a moderate resort. So we're really great about that sort of working with you after we know what's coming.
One of the things you can do is this is where the relationship with your agent comes in. If this is important to you when you book your reservation, you should let your agent know that if free dining were to come along, this, and this are things that I would accept. By letting
That's a good point. Yeah.
By letting your agent know as much information, there's less.
Right. And that's what I always say to people as well. I don't know the information until it's in front of me. So I'll kind of know, we would have had that discussion. And I say to some clients, empower me to make decisions on your behalf. If I know what it is you will accept or won't, but I would say 95% of the time when you offer that to somebody, they come back and they say,
Anything.
well, let me know, or they'll say, let me know once you see what's available. By the time I see what's available, I go back to you, I let you know, and you get back to me. Chances are what's available has changed 3 times. Free dining is a frenzy like no other in our industry. As agents, and I know it sounds, a lot of people don't believe us until they've actually worked with our agents and they've gotten that email to say, hey, got you a discount, because it seems kind of counteractive to what our goal would be as commission-based people. But it's a badge of honor for us. The more we get, the more we change, the better the deal we get you. We're sharing that with each other. You're not going to believe, I just got this, I just found that.
Well, there's also a longer range goal.
Absolutely, big picture.
That when, you might lower your commission, but then what's happened is you've got somebody who now believes that you're looking out for their best interest.
Well, that's just it. My business is not built on one-time trips. Right. My goal in every client that I work with is creating a lifelong bond between the two of you. And I'm a better agent as I get to know a family more and as, and they get to trust me more. And so you get to know, they just know they're going to trust me. When it comes out, I'm going to let you know this is what's going to work and this is what's not. This is what we can do. This isn't available, but I'm not going to come to you and say it wasn't available. Sorry about that. Right. I'm going to come to you and I'm going to say it wasn't available, but if we did this, we could possibly get it. Or if we could do this, I'm not going to be changing your reservation. I'm not going to be changing your resort. I'm not going to do anything that downgrades you in any way. If me taking you from a standard view to a water view gets you free dining, I'm going to make that decision for you. Yep. But I'm not going to make any decisions I'm not authorized to make.
But again, forming that sort of trust with your agent and saying, listen, I'm willing to stay here, here, or here, will allow them to react more quickly when this happens.
Please book the trip that you can afford. Book the trip that is within the budget that you set for your family for this trip. Book the trip in a place where you want to stay. Book a package that you would be comfortable with, and then anything else becomes gravy. It becomes the cherry on top. And then at that point, you've booked at $1 you're comfortable with. Now look, like you said, maybe now you want to upgrade. Maybe instead of being the value at the quick service, if you go to the moderate a little bit more, you're going to get the next level dining. So there's things that you can do after the fact once we have all of the information. But please book the trip, because there's nothing worse than somebody booking a trip based on a promotion that doesn't come. And I think these are the people who are the most upset, most disappointed in their own vacation and what it's going to look like, most upset with their agent because they didn't get not only what they wanted, but what they needed to make the vacation happen. And I think you're only setting yourself up for disappointment. Right. Why do that? Book what you can. And if you can't go without the promotion, and I get it, I've been there. If you can't go without the promotion, if the budget wouldn't allow for that to happen for you, wait until the promotion's released. Don't bank on something that's not a guarantee. Because I can tell you the only thing predictable about free dining is that it's unpredictable.
Right. We have no idea. It might not be released at all.
Right.
Disney might not need to fill those rooms.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. So we hope you got a little bit out of this conversation. We hope you understand where we're coming from when we deal with our clients on free dining. We also hope we've set your expectations accordingly. with free dining. Excellent. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you guys very much for participating in this conversation. I truly appreciate it. Again, like I said, a little bit of a shorter episode, but we think an important topic to cover. Thank you, everybody at home, for listening and watching. We hope you have a great week, and we hope you have a great vacation.